Hey everyone, Jordan here at Totally Bored, and in this video I'll be talking about 5 things I've learned about board gaming after 1 year in the hobby. First up, we have sleeving. Now, this is a pretty divisive take in the board game community, and I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I am team sleeve all the way. Now, I have 2 main reasons why I formed that opinion and why I prefer to sleeve. The first one is that I was playing Undaunted with my dad about 3 months into the hobby, ended up spilling water all over my game, ruined like half the cards, had to go buy new ones, and I was really sad about it. So ultimately decided to buy some sleeves for the replacement and then sleeve it up, and I felt a lot better. I felt that peace of mind that came with sleeving your cards. But I also had another event that occurred that really solidified my reasoning to sleeve most of my games. I was at a meetup playing a game with several people, and one of the people in particular was going absolutely ham on a bag of Cheetos. Now, what comes with going ham on a bag of Cheetos? Well, you have that Cheeto goop all over your fingers, and instead of washing their hands, coming back and playing the game, they decided to clean off each and every finger right in front of us and go directly pick up the cards and start playing. And I could literally see the sheen of Cheeto goop shining off their cards. I was absolutely mortified, and then and there decided I was going to sleeve almost everything in my collection. Now, there is one caveat here. I do have a kind of threshold of if it's under $40, I'm not going to sleeve it. At that point, it basically just makes sense to go get a new copy of the game instead of spending money on sleeving the game. But for the most part, I sleeve everything I have in my collection. Now, what about you guys? Are you team sleeve or team no sleeve? Let me know in the comments below. Next up, we have FOMO. Now, the fear of missing out is something we all deal with to some degree, especially in the world of Kickstarters and crowdfunding. It's pretty much unavoidable. But in this last year of gaming, I've really taken a step back and explored games that we already have that are amazing and classics for a reason. Now, one game in particular is Reiner Knizia's Raw. This came out in 1999, and this game is bodying games that came out last week. If you're unfamiliar with Raw, this is an auction bidding style game where you're trying to get a collection of tiles out of a bag, and it involves engine building, and it's just a really fun social experience. I really recommend it if you've never played it. But after playing this, I just had that mental shift. I was like, wow, I mean, if games that came out 25 years ago are this good, I really don't need to trip on what's coming out tomorrow. I'm totally content now with just exploring the games I already own, games that my friends have, and games that have been out for a long time. And if you're just now getting into the hobby, I really do recommend that. Of course, if there's a brand new game that you know you're gonna love, go for it. But I just encourage you guys to just play what's out there. You know, don't get blinded by that cult of the new, that shiny new toy that's coming out every other day, because if you do, you're going to be spending a lot of freaking money. The next thing I've learned is to get uncomfortable. Now, this won't apply to everyone, but a little bit of backstory. Back in COVID all the way up to 2022, I was extremely isolated. I'm a pretty introverted person by nature, so at first it was kind of sweet, but then over time I realized like I hadn't seen a human in months, and I really needed that. And as I got more into board gaming as a hobby, what do you typically need to play? People and friends. So what I did was I got really out of my comfort zone. I went on Meetup, I went on Facebook groups, and I ended up going to gaming events. It was really hard at first, but over time, I developed some really strong friendships, and I am playing with these people now, months and months later. So if you're anything like me and you're really wanting to play board games, but you're kind of scared of that leap of faith, I encourage you to do it. I promise you it will pay off. And maybe not at first, it's gonna be a little tough, a little tricky, but over time, you're gonna find and develop friendships and meet with people that you can play and just nerd out on what we all love, and that's board games. Next up, we have what I call blind love or sunk cost fallacy. And this is the idea that I feel like I have to love a game just because I've invested money into it. Now, throughout the past year, I've really learned to mitigate this by, well, the biggest thing is selling games. This is something I didn't do for a while, and it was really hard to let go of my first game. But once I did, man, I'm getting these games out of my collection left and right. And it's really good because it thins out games that I'm just never gonna get to the table, but it also allows me to reinvest that into new games if I want and explore other games that I've been wanting to play or games that I know I will enjoy. So if you're like me, don't give in to that blind love. And if you do, that's all right. Sell those trash games and get some better ones. The fifth and final thing I've learned is to save money. Now, I don't necessarily mean just not buying games, but I've saved money in a variety of ways. The first one is to wait for sales. This includes Black Friday deals or Nerds Day deals, as well as deals of the day that occur typically around noon Central Time on a variety of websites like Miniature Market, Game Nerds, and more. Probably the biggest way I've saved money is through Board Game Arena. This is a website that allows you to play hundreds of games digitally. They have a free version with access to a lot of their library, and if you pay $30 per year, you get access to the whole thing. It is absolutely incredible value, and if you've never heard of Board Game Arena, I recommend it. I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway of 1 month of Board Game Arena, so in the comments below, type BGA if you want to be entered for that. Now lastly, I recommend your local store. Many stores will have some kind of membership that allows you to try and use the library that they own, and that has allowed me to save a ton of money on new releases, games that I'm just wanting to try, or games that I never really thought I would play and I really ended up enjoying. And those are the 3 biggest ways that I've saved money. How about you guys? Do you have any advice or recommendations for me? Let me know in the comments below. And those are 5 things that I've learned after 1 year in board gaming. If you guys have any recommendations or advice for me, I would love to hear those in the comments below. And don't forget to type BGA if you want to be entered to win 1 month of Board Game Arena. This is Jordan here at Totally Bored. We'll see you next time.